The New York Yankees are looking for any team willing to take Alex Rodriguez off their hands. A-Rod is clearly on the downside of his career. He batted only 120 in the playoffs. I'm told he tried to pick up a girl in the stands during the game, for heaven's sake. And but this, the Yankees still owe him $114 million over the next 5 years, not including bonuses. Is this going to scare teams away from signing older players, any players, to long-term deals? Joining us now is the sports agent himself, Eugene Lee.
Hi, Stuart.
Do you think this really will upset the whole idea of long-term contracts?
I don't think so. I think you'll see with elite-level athletes, players like Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, they're not driven by individual honors or statistics. They're driven by championships. And I think that's what was so disheartening about the whole A-Rod incident.
Yankees are now on the hook for 5 years, $114 million. They could actually owe him some $5 million bonuses if he hits certain milestones. That was a terrible business deal. You don't think that will inhibit others from making similar long-term deals? Really?
I think you'll see teams be wary about signing players on the north side of 30, realizing that as they progress in their careers, as they get older, the productivity is going to decline. But at the same point in time, when you have teams that are large market teams that can afford to pay the luxury tax, they will play to their strengths. They will try to outspend, sign elite-level talent, and beat the small market teams.
So it's worth it to the Yankees. I believe this was a Steinbrenner deal from way back.
It was. And Hank Steinbrenner has evinced a desire to avoid the luxury tax, but in 2011 they paid almost $14 million.
But it's worth it for a team, a marquee team, to get marquee name star players. It's worth it. No matter what they have to pay, even if they don't perform, you're saying it's still worth it.
I think winning. It comes down to winning. Teams want to sign.
Rodriguez didn't win.
I know. That was what was so disheartening, the fact that he was indifferent. There was a lack of interest.
Eugene, you might have vested interest in these guys making gazillions of dollars, right? But I'm going to challenge you on that, and I'm going to say that maybe the general public should be excited that this happened, because arguably these big bucks have changed the game of baseball and other professional sports. Maybe this is a sign that teams will look for heart and, you know, and not just go after the big buck players.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to see a correlation. The way it's always been, elite-level talent demands elite-level dollars. And with an A-Rod, that was the part that was so disheartening for everybody involved. Usually players of his caliber are dedicated, they are only focused on one thing, and that's winning championships. And for him to send a baseball up in the stands during the middle of a game where he was benched for poor performance.
Yeah, but now he's saying he wants to make things right. This is A-Rod saying he wants to come back and make things right. He does not want to be traded. But you know, even the general manager of the Yankees is saying, wait a second, he's never going to be MVP caliber ever again. What do you make of that?
I agree. I think that my prediction is that in this offseason, even with the no trade clause and even with the $118 million left on his contract, I think you're going to see A-Rod wearing a different uniform next year.
What's that about, sending a baseball up into the stands? What's that?
Apparently, allegedly, using the legal term, he during the middle of a game in which he was benched, he had a bat boy take a ball up to a woman in the stands to get her phone number.
And during a playoff game.
What do you make of that, ladies, in red?
I would be so turned off by a baseball with a phone number on it. That's kind of cheesy.
I would probably throw up. If I were a true Yankees fan and I was sitting right behind home plate where these gals were, I'd probably take that baseball and throw it right back at them and say, get your head in the game. Come on.
Yeah, bean him right between the eyes.
But it is an interesting prospect, isn't it, that you pay these players an arm and a leg, and it's really changed the nature of baseball. I think it really has. The high performers are not the high paid are not performing, are they?
I don't think you're seeing it across the board. I think, you know, you have the Pujols who didn't have a good year this year. You have A-Rod, the whole situation with the playoffs. But at the end of the day, you're going to have teams that predicate their success on players that perform, and they're going to believe that these guys are going to be interested in one thing alone, and that's winning championships.
You're pushing your own book. You are a sports agent. You want these mega salaries because you get your percentage, don't you?
Not necessarily.
But look what's happened to the Yankee fans. I mean, they don't even show up at their own playoff games anymore because they expect to win. And if there's a sign that they're not going to the World Series, they're out. And a lot of this is they're screaming, we paid for you guys. We paid for this championship. So they think they rightly own it. You go to a Cubs game, every seat is filled because we have heart every single year, even though we have won in over 100 years.
You must be from Chicago.
I am, but I mean, I think that this money is just killing.
You're saying New York fans don't have heart?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I think
saying that.
In this town, there's a saying, Will Ferrell's character from Talladega Nights, if you're not first, you're last. And that's the mentality of the New York sports
Didn't you
fan.
never say that?
Okay, do you agree with this one? American football is running away with sport in America. Basketball, baseball, hockey, down. Football, way up. That's where the money is. That's where the ratings are. You agree?
Absolutely. Football is the #1 spectator sport in this country.
Of course, you only represent football players, don't you?
That is correct.
Oh, there you go. Eugene Lee, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir. Come again soon.